Well, hello, internet friends near and far. Welcome to another episode of Parks and Conversation. And this is a podcast where we watch an episode of Parks and Rec and then we talk about it. We converse, if you will. And by converse, I'm talking with my friend Jeremy, who's all the way across town, but through the power of the internet, we're able to communicate to one another. Jeremy, hello.
Hey, hello.
How are you today?
This is way better than how we normally communicate through telepathy, because other people can now hear it.
Yeah. I can barely hear you when we're communicating through telepathy, so I think maybe you're in a dead zone.
Oh yeah, I don't have many telepathic towers around me.
Maybe just your mind though. Your mind is in a
Wow, I see. That took me a while. Okay, I get it.
Do you?
Wait, what?
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
My brain isn't smart enough.
I guess.
I have bad brain.
My brain is bad.
How are you doing?
I'm great. Today is we normally record on Fridays, but today, due to schedule things, we're actually recording on a Saturday. So I mean, we're coming in on our day off to coming into the podcast minds to delve the depths of this episode. I'm excited. I just love talking about Parks and Recreation, and it's always fun to hang out with Jeremy, even if I can't see you. And that's all right.
That's the part that makes it fun.
Yeah. So, let's talk about some things. Were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, what episode is this, and what do you think? Like, what was your initial impressions of new? What was this one? This was the New Beginnings.
New Beginnings. Last episode was Second Chunts. This one is New Beginnings, and I wish they would have misspelled it after Second Chunts, like to have like KNEW or GNU. That would have been more fun. But
or new, like canoe beginnings.
Yeah.
The K is silent.
Yeah. Or what if they actually pronounced the K?
Canoe. Yeah.
Like what if Stu's last name was Canoe?
Stu Canoes.
And it was Canoe Beginning. Canoe Beginnings. And then you're like, oh, wait a second. Anyway, maybe not. Maybe there's a reason we don't write for these shows.
That was a missed chance right there. Hey, This is the 100th episode.
This is the 100th episode. Yeah. It's our 101st episode, though, because we did the COVID special.
Yes. And we're not
our
quite
second
sure.
episode.
I don't know if we count, like, some of those episodes were like two-parters. So I don't know. I don't know where the math ends up.
Yeah. Regardless,
mm-hmm.
we're here and we're ready. And so this episode, Leslie is back in the parks department and things have changed and she's not really ready for that. And Jerry is helping Chris and Ann get married or commit to one another. And Ben is the new city manager and he is trying to exert his authority, which goes great. So I think I've pretty much summed it up.
Yeah. And, what do you think of it?
I thought it was okay. I really like my favorite of the three storylines is Ben's storyline.
Yeah, agreed.
Adam Scott is just delightful when he is trying to not freak out around the police. And then also when he's trying to pull a prank, he's just so great.
Let's go to the front area.
Come out with leave anything you don't want to get wet like you normally do.
Come out with me to the front. Yeah, he's fantastic. Just being awkward. He's definitely my spirit animal, and I love it.
Yeah. So let's talk about Chris and Ann and their story. Let's start there, and then we'll talk about Ben's, and then we'll talk about Leslie and Ron and Tom and Stu.
Sounds good.
All right. So here we go. Chris, Ann, they are going around City Hall, taking pictures to give to their unborn baby at some point. Showing them like where they met. Sounds weird, but okay. And so they go out to the courtyard, which is not where they met, but it's a significant part of their life. And there's Jerry eating crackers.
Just like a pigeon,
just eating crackers. And he's like reading the newspaper, like saltines. Like that's what Jerry's
I was going to say,
doing.
yeah, not even like Ritz or even the Keebler like club crackers.
Oh, those are so good,
right? Because they're just like crunchy sticks of butter. He's eating saltines, the preferred cracker of grandmas everywhere.
Yeah, I mean that sums it up. And so they ask Jerry to take a picture of them, and he's so excited. And then he asks, like, when are you guys going to get married? And Anne's like, well, we haven't talked about it. It's taking a back seat. And Jerry's like, you guys are in love, and I really think you guys are special, and you give me hope for the world. And he's saying all these nice things, and he stops talking. And I love Chris. His response, that literally went on forever. It's like he's trying to be nice, and even Chris is like, that went on forever. And so then he's like, you know what? But you got me thinking. Ann Perkins, will you marry me? And in the background, Jerry starts choking on his saltine crackers.
Because he gasps that he's party to this engagement proposal, and cracker dust.
It's like cracker dust, and which
isn't that what they call meth?
Yes. I was gonna say that's my. That's my. Oh, now I lost it. Who's the guy who does rap and he's terrible? Kid Rock. That's my Kid Rock cover band.
Kid Rock cover band, Cracker Dust.
Everybody, welcome to the stage. Cracker Dust. Bow, wow, chicka, bow, bow. Yeah. So
I'd avoid that.
I would definitely not go to those shows. I know exactly what town to never go to when they're in town. Cracker Dust this week at Emerald Queen Casino. Smokey Robinson and Cracker Dust
opening for Smokey.
Yeah, like the lineup at the casino shows are always so strange. Like first it's going to be a comedian, and then it's going to be Aerosmith 2. Is this also like a sequel to Aerosmith? No, it's an Aerosmith cover band, but all polka. So
Paul Anka.
Oh, Paul Anka. Yes, he's always at the Emerald Queen Casino. Always. Does he live there now?
I don't know about you. I think he does. I don't know. Yeah. Have you the Paul Anka suite? You can't actually rent it out because that's where he lives. Yeah. I don't know if you have casinos anywhere near you, but up here in the Pacific Northwest, several of our casinos have it's the place for long retired acts or 80s rock bands and sometimes comedians. But yeah, so that's
also people who are taking a break from the festivals or from the fair circuit in the summertime.
Yes, the fair circuit.
So,
yeah.
Man, awful. Anyway, Jerry's almost dying, and Chris and Ann say, "Yeah, let's get married." And while they're trying to work this out, Jerry reaches for Chris's water bottle, trying to help himself not die, and Chris is like, "No, sorry, I'm a germaphobe," and Jerry's like, "Totally understand." And then he tries to put another cracker down. I thought another cracker might push it through, but I was wrong. So they decide to get married, and then Jerry clears his airway, and he just is just so blessed to be a part of this whole situation. It's like, that was a beautiful moment, and then immediately starts eating another cracker. What, Jeremy, have you ever choked on food in a way that you were afraid for your life?
Yeah, there's been a time or two. It's mostly hard candy. I stay away from hard candies now.
Hard candy, really? You think you can swallow it too soon?
No, I don't know. Like you breathe in, like you're one moment you got a butterscotch going, and the next moment you're like, I can't breathe anymore. I stay away from those. No more.
Okay.
Only chewy candies for me. How about you?
Yeah. Usually it's not candy. It's probably like a piece of meat that I didn't swallow. I didn't chew enough. Yeah, that's usually what frightens me most. We have a child. We have 2 children in my house, and I'm not going to name names, but my son was often, when he was younger, would not chew his food and choke on things. And one time we were eating lasagna, and he's like 3 years old, right? So we cut it up pretty good for him, and he choked on it, and he took like all the cheese, and he was trying to eat all the cheese at once.
Had a kid,
and so like I had to reach into his mouth and pull out this big old string of like kind of chewed cheese. It was nasty.
Still good.
Yeah. Well, I put it back on his plate. What's he gonna know? He's 3. So
was it pasteurized? You know what? I don't care. And eat it.
Eat this food. So, So Chris and Ann, they're going to get married. It's exciting. They're going to go get an engagement ring. This is wonderful. So they go to the engagement ring and they meet the owner of the store, Theodore. And he's like, hey, when's the big day? I assume this is and he makes a shotgun motion. And then they explain the nature of their relationship. That it's not a shotgun wedding, but yes, she is pregnant. And we did just decide to get married today. And we haven't told our families or chosen the venue, but it's not a shotgun wedding. So this is exciting. And so an extra comes over, in the script, it just says extra. A woman comes over and is like, this is great. We've been planning ours for months and talking about all the different things going on, invitations, table settings, color scheme, dance lessons. And that's just for the rehearsal dinner. And Anne thinks she's joking. And the lady's like, no, seriously, that's just for the rehearsal dinner. And so that made Anne kind of question some things. And I love this interaction when she's like, all we did was punch in jewelry store into our GPS. You remember that romantic moment, Chris? And Chris is like, I was getting gas. I don't remember it.
No.
Just Rob Lowe is probably he's crushing it in this episode. I really do think like his delivery on that literally was going to take forever. And no, I don't remember it. Just so great. So they pick out a ring, and Theodore's excited for him. He's like, I can engrave the date. And they are like, well, we haven't had a chance to discuss it yet. We could engrave 2014 or TBD.
Which is what I have on my burial plot already. Is I already have a tombstone there, and it just says TBD.
Stay tuned. But that works out well after too.
Sure,
because if you're buried and you just have on the tombstone, stay tuned. Like, what's gonna happen?
Is something else gonna happen?
Yeah, like people are like, oh, this is a cliffhanger. I'll see you next season. So I don't know.
It's like a Copperfield situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna make anyway. No, I'll stop.
Okay.
There was a joke that was probably not gonna be funny.
Then was it a joke?
To somebody. To somebody would have been, but not me. So so they are. Then they're rethinking about this. Look, if neither of us ever thought about this stuff, maybe there's a reason. And Chris is like, yeah, we're more married than most people. And they're like, we're having a kid together. We're moving to a new city together. And Anne's like, you let me pee with the door open so I could watch the end of Grey's Anatomy. So then they're like, well, maybe we're not going to buy this ring. Theodore, we'd like to return the ring and get a refund. And so the other lady who's like, well, maybe we should think this over too. And now Theodore's losing potentially 2 people's business. It's not going well. And then Chris looks at him and is like, you have a lovely store. Because Chris is all about encouragement, right? So then they're continue talking it over, and they're talking about the benefits of getting married, and like taxes are different, health insurance different. I don't have to feel weird when hotel employees call me Mr. Perkins. So Chris Anne says, maybe we should. I don't know anymore. And Chris is just so wonderful, like moved by that. And he says, maybe we should. I don't know anymore. What a beautiful sentiment. And so Theodore comes back with the credit card fully refunded. And Chris is like, perfect timing. We're going to buy this ring. Charge it. And so Theodore turns around and is like, all right, let's do it. And then Chris proposes again and says, I don't know. And Chris says, me neither. Maybe let's not. Maybe let's think about it. So he comes back, rings yours again. He's like, actually, we don't want the ring. So it's fun. It's fun being Theodore. Later on, Theodore's on the phone and he's talking to his son. He's like, I'm sorry, buddy. Daddy can't come home to tuck you in. And Chris asks about his kid and he's like, just pick a thing. And so Anne finds a locket that she wants to put a picture of their child in the locket. They've never been very traditional, and points out that they made out the first night they met. And then Chris points out, and when we did date, we broke up, but you didn't realize it. And that was very embarrassing for you. So they are buying they want to buy the locket, and they tell Theodore they want to buy it. How much is it? And he's like, just take it and get out of here. So that is their symbol of their love and commitment to one another. A locket
is a free necklace.
It's a free necklace. It opens and closes, and only one person can wear it at a time. That's the symbol of their love. So
yeah.
So the best part about that plot line was really how short it was. So there was not a lot going on, and it really does start to feel more and more like Chris and Anne just are ready to leave the show.
Yeah.
So
should we leave? Should we not? Should we stay? Just like their marriage.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
And Anne is gonna go and start doing a whole bunch of great shows. Like
Angie Tribeca.
That's the one. That's it. What else has she done?
She was in The Office.
That was before this.
I know.
Yeah. So I don't know what she's up to now. So Rashida Jones, hope you're doing all right. Rob Lowe went on to go and be in 911 or Rescue or 911 Texas or whatever it is.
Texas. Yeah.
So, and he also made a documentary about hunting Bigfoot with his sons. So he's doing fine.
Did they catch him?
No.
Bigfoot. No.
They caught Rob Lowe. Yeah. On camera.
Yeah. On camera. Yeah.
So he can be filmed. He's never blurry. Best Mitch Hedberg joke.
Yeah.
Maybe a Bigfoot is blurry. I love him. I love his jokes. All right. So Ben now is hosting an open door cheese party to welcome people into his office as he's the new city manager. Ben is Andy and Donna and April are in the office, and there's a few people in the background too. And Ben comes up, you guys enjoying that cheese? It's unpasteurized. And Andy like spits the food out of his mouth. It's like, what does that mean? And I don't care. And then he just eats it. And Ben's like, technically it's illegal in this country. I smuggled it back from Paris. So he is, a wild man. So he's trying to be chill and say like, hey, welcome. I want you guys to have treat my office like a clubhouse, total open door policy. I want to be your friend and your boss, which is a weird dynamic. And then April's like, are you in a cult? Can I join? Let's sacrifice Larry. So then it goes to a talking head where he's explaining, trying to break the ice. Chris was always so nice, and I was the one who had to bring the hammer. But now that Chris is gone, Ben has to do both. So he's like, everyone's the best. We're cutting vacation time. So he comes back to the office like, hey, everybody, listen real quick. I have some super cool new rules. And he hands them these binders. He's being influenced by Leslie. And Andy's like, oh, nice. New rules. He's like, and they're super mandatory. One of them is you can't use Facebook anymore. And Ben's like, yep, time waster. and kills productivity. And so Donna and April are not really cool with this. So then sanitation comes in, and he's like, "Hey, sanitation, let's talk health insurance. Your dependents don't have any more. Have some illegal cheese." Then they see you can't use a cell phone on property, and bathroom breaks should be limited to 5 minutes. And Andy says, "I can't shower in 5 minutes." So what's he been doing in the bathroom at work that requires a shower? So, but Donna points out that he's really uptight and he's gonna pop, and so so they decide that they are going to prank him, and the police come to his open house, and and he's like, "Hey, the boys in blue," and they say, "We got a tip of some food entering the country illegally." And he's like, "No, it's just cheese. I got it in France." "Did you declare it on your customs form when you re-entered the country? We're going to need you to come down to the station." So, "Are you sure this is necessary? It's just really good cheese. You should try some." "Are you trying to bribe us?" "No." And he's like freaking out. And he just puts his hands up. "I surrender." And they start walking him out. And he's like flinching down. He's like, okay. So totally freaking out, being arrested, which is so wonderful. So then they get him down to the station, and the officer's like, "We got a couple custom agents coming. They are not happy." And he's like, "I can't believe this. I never break the law. I never even jaywalked." "Never?" "Well, I mean, sometimes. Just add it to the charges." And then he's like, "Well, we got a hit on your prints. Seems you were on it for tax fraud in Colorado." He's like, "I've never even been to Colorado. I had a layover once." Like, "You just can't keep your story straight, can you?" And then the officer's like, "Here comes the custom guys now." And it's Donna and Andy and April. And they're like, "Ha, look at your stupid face. Let's get a picture." And like, "You seemed uptight, so we thought we'd have a little fun with our new boss." And he's like, "Ha, you got me, you scamps."
Scamps.
So, he's not very happy about this.
Good one. Making me think I was going to die like in federal prison.
Yeah. That's so great. Great joke. So then Andy comes later to Ben's office like, "Hey, I was just printing out my Minesweeper high score." And I don't even know how you would print that out.
I think you just print. I think you just print the page that has just all of the mines or the flags. It says you won.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
Because like, I haven't played Minesweeper in a long time. Does it actually like?
It goes by the grid. It's right. The size of grid and the number of, and I think the number of flags or mines is constant. So there's no real.
It adjusts by the size of the grid. So like, easy is 10
right
mines. Medium is a bigger grid, but it has 50 mines, and then expert is like bigger and 100 mines.
Right, but I think high score is time. How fast can you clear it?
Oh, is it time?
I think it's based on time, because I think the number of mines per grid is the same.
Now, did you ever do the move where you could adjust it and customize the game?
Oh yeah, to where you can put like one mine for the whole, and you just like
one
click
non-mine,
right?
And you click it one time, and it
clears the board.
Yeah,
that always made me feel smart. I did it once in a while, but yeah, but it felt cheating.
Yeah, it did. It was great. I loved when like you are playing like in expert mode, right? And you click that one spot that like clears out most of the board every once in a while.
Right.
It's like, man, I am saving lives. I'm sweeping mines.
There's a trailer. There's a trailer somewhere. I think it was a Funny or Die trailer. I can't remember, where they created like they made a trailer based on the hit video game Minesweeper. It's a movie about guys who go out and are trying to sweep mines to save the world.
I would watch that, but it would be great though if that was a real movie. Is if the people playing Minesweeper come to find out they're actually giving orders to real minesweepers. Oh wow! So like a Ender's Game situation. Yeah, then it gets dark. Kind of not unlike the ad that's on top of my IMDb window right now for a Knock at the Cabin by M. Night Shyamalan, where Drax comes to this house and tells people like, hey, if you don't do this, people will die.
Yeah.
And similar kind of thing. Maybe that's why I'm thinking about it that way. I probably won't see that movie, either of those, Minesweeper or Knock at the Cabin, but we'll see.
I don't think they actually made Minesweeper. It was more of a prank kind of trailer. Knock at the Cabin, I might watch. I went down the M. Night road. We watched Sixth Sense and then just watched Unbreakable. So
Unbreakable is fantastic.
Yeah, so I kind of want to see what they do with this Knock at the Cabin.
Did you watch The Visit?
I have not. I don't think I've watched The Visit. No,
it's good.
Okay,
recommend. Cool. That's all I can say about it.
Recommend
it. Yeah, you'll watch it for a long time and you'll be like, "What's happening?" And then things happen, like a movie, as they do. So Andy notices a memo as he's printing out his high score from Minesweeper, and he's like, "Oh, you're punishing us," and I was like, "No, it's just a warning memo. Like, hey, all in good fun, but I'm your boss, and if you do it again, you're suspended." That kind of thing. So, and he's like, "Listen, I know you're the governor or whatever, and I'm just government junior." But he's like, you're blowing it. You have to play along. Don't punish them. Prank them back. And so Ben's like, okay, I could loosen up a little bit. I don't know how to pull a prank. And he's like, I got you. Like one time, I did the best prank. I dumped all my boss's action figures in a fish tank. And Ben's like, that was me. And I really didn't like it. Classic. So then Andy comes into the park's office like quickly. He's like, you guys, be cool. Ben wants to prank you. Got a little out of hand. Probably should have said no to some of his ideas, but it's on his way right here. Just be cool. And so Ben comes in. Hey, Jeremy, would you read Ben's lines?
Yeah, hold on. On Ben. Okay, here it is.
You're Ben, yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? I just remembered. Can I show you something out to the front area? And leave your cell phones because of no reason. Just leave anything that can't get wet. Actually, like you would normally. Okay, here we go to the parking lot now.
Wow, this is really sad. Keep going.
Yep. Follow to me, guys. Just going to the parking lot for normal government reasons. So, sorry, I can't go through this. I was going to pull a prank.
He's sweaty as he's doing all of this and panicky, bent over. I was going to pull a prank.
Yeah, I hired these guys as ski masks to kidnap us. I was going to pretend to be a hero. They were going to shoot me and drive the van into the river. That's when the scuba divers going to come in, pull you guys out of the water, be the standing on the shore like, hey, you guys get pranked much?
What the bleep?
And then they even he's got squibs in his, which are like special effects for gunshots.
Right. And then Andy's like, and that's when I push this button, and he pushed the button, and then all the squibs go off. And April is like, oh, wow, you got blood all over me. Thank you. I mean it. This is the best prank ever. Yeah. I just love Ben Wyatt. The line, follow to me, guys.
Follow to me, guys. Okay, here we go to the parking lot now.
For normal government reasons. Yeah. Excellent delivery, Jeremy. Excellent delivery.
Oh, thank you.
I just, I just remembered. Can I show you something out to the front area?
And his whole body language, his posture is just like his like shoulders are kind of slumped, like, but he's looking down, but also kind of like a little manic. Oh, it's so great.
He's a combination of manic and trying to be casual.
Right.
Casual like, manic. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Hey, I'm good. It's like when somebody's like on drugs and they don't want anybody else to know they're on drugs. Like that.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. That exact thing where he's like, I don't know how to do this at all. Does everybody just take one step at a time?
Just act normal. What do I do with my hands? Can I get another coffee mug?
That guy was funny. What Jeremy is referencing a comedian in the Seattle area who was making a joke about being on meth and forgetting how his arms work. Oh wait, no, you're talking about
cracker dust. But yes, dust. I was talking about Jack from 30 Rock. He was trying to shoot a commercial.
Yeah, I was then maybe we're thinking there's a comedian who
the comedian with the banana hands.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you went to shows with me for that. Yeah. So
Right.
that guy was very funny. He did not win. Turns out people don't think meth's funny yet.
Not yet.
So yeah, maybe a couple weeks.
Someday.
So yeah, so that's the Ben storyline. New boss trying to make.
There's another little section.
Oh, there's the yeah. Sorry, it's a different color, so I got lost. So they're at a bar later, and Ben's like, "I'm sorry about the new rules."
Jason switched from like peachy pink color to like this orangey yellow color in this. I need to keep you guys updated on Jason's choice of colors. I think he was subliminally affected by the Anne and Chris storyline with the baby, because we have like blue, pink, and white. It's like a peachy pink, and then at the end, I think he had a stroke and just did this section orange for no reason. So hopefully you're okay.
I'm fine. Let me explain to you what actually happened.
Please explain to me the thing.
I normally do this on my computer, but my computer was all the way in my bag next to my chair. And I was like, I don't know how to get it out.
Yeah.
So I did this on my phone this morning, and the color selection option on the phone looks different than the color selection option on my computer. And so as I was selecting the colors here at the end, it had been like 10 seconds since I had recently changed the color for the previous Ben section, and I forgot which one it was. And I was like, I could go check. And I thought, no one's going to care.
Little did he know.
I care. I totally missed it. And so now I know. I was like, if I do this, I got to stay consistent. But it really was the second lightest row of colors, so that I could still see the letters in the text, and I wanted them to contrast from one another enough that I would be able to see. That is everything. So if my subconscious, if my subconscious was saying baby stuff, I don't know. Anyway, at the bar,
I fixed it
on
live,
your end,
on air.
No, I sent you a copy. We're not collaborating right now. So it's your end is fine.
Story of our lives. We're not, I get it now. It's only taken 101 episodes. We're not collaborating. You're just recording a podcast on your side.
Yeah, this is really just part of a work release thing I have to do.
You're just getting hours. I love it. Perfect.
Yeah, it's a community service.
Yeah, I'm like your little buddy. You know, I got the Little Podcasters Network.
It's part of a Make-A-Wish.
This wasn't even my wish, man. You asked me.
I have some bad news, Jeremy.
Who's helping who?
I have bad news, Jeremy. I have a terminal condition. You're fulfilling my wish of finishing this Ben plotline. So,
all right, do it.
So they're at the bar. He's like, "Listen, I really do need you to respect me." And Andy says, "I respect you, little buddy. Come here." And he gives him a noogie. To respect noogie. And then Donna's like, "We didn't prank you because we don't respect you. We do it because we love you." And then Andy spells out respect. RESPEGC.
Well, that's actually not how respect is spelled.
Well, according to Urethra Franklin, that's exactly how it's spelled. So, so they're all cool with everybody. Things are fine.
And the cop actually comes and brings him a beer.
Yeah. That cop is great. He's great. And according to the trivia, they worked together in previous things. His name is Officer Killnose. So they were on The Good Place, and that's it. Anyway, okay. So you ready to talk about the Leslie and Tom plotline?
Let's do it.
Leslie this is the credits scene at the very beginning. Leslie is coming into cold open, I should say, coming in to interview for the deputy parks director job. And so she wants Ron to interview her, and Ron's like, "Well, it's your job, take it." And Leslie's like, "I don't want any special treatment, so you need to interview me." And Ron's like, okay. So he interviews her, and he's like, what do you believe should be the ultimate goal of this department? And Leslie's like, well, the ancient Greek version of the park was the agora, a gathering place. And I was like, he starts writing stuff down. I was like, what are you writing? What do you think is the best use of our yearly budget? And she says, maintaining our beautiful parks. He's like, no, wrong answer. Give it all back to the taxpayers. It seems we have different philosophies. It's a miracle we ever worked together before. Good day. And Leslie's like, what are you doing? No more goofing around. Just tell me I have the job. And he walks her out, and he's like, we'll be in touch. I have a lot of other people to talk to. And then she's like, please give me special treatment. So she ends up getting the job. And first day gets back in the conference room, and she notices a new display. Everybody's spirit dogs. This happened while Leslie was very involved in city hall, city council stuff, and so she has no idea what's going on with any of this. And she's like, "You guys think I'm a border collie?" So obviously a Cocker Spaniel. But April's like, "Nope. Spirit Dog Committee ruled weeks ago. There's no appeals process." So, and Leslie's trying to like be cool with it. Like, I'm totally in on the joke. I get it. Maybe we should just get back to work. And then a classic border collie has to control everything. So, so then Tom's like, all right, first on the agenda, I'm going to bring a lemonade stand idea to the business coalition. And it's good to go. And he's like, can I get a what? And I was like, what? Unless he says, what? So it worked. And Leslie's like, what is this idea? And Ron explains that Tom found out that the guy who is running the hot stew stand in Lafayette Park is retiring. So Tom, who's the Pawnee's new business liaison, went to Indiana Brothers Juice Company to rent it out as a lemonade stand. And which is like such a good idea and so surprising, like that Tom would do this. Like, this is awesome. And Leslie should be really excited about it. And Tom's excited. He downloaded an app for $9 that pops champagne whenever he says something awesome.
But it's good champagne,
I guess. So Leslie's like, well, I'll do an environmental impact study. Ron, you can do some demographic research. And Tom's like, don't worry about it. Tommy's taking care of every last detail. And it's like, what can I do to help? And they're like, nothing. So she's like, okay, no one needs me. She gets up, she's like, well, I can straighten this picture for you. And she straightens it, and then it immediately falls to the ground. And she's pretty bummed about that. So then next day, Jerry comes into the conference room. He's like, what happened to our spirit dogs? And Leslie came up with a better game. Behold your spirit kangaroo. And turns out almost everybody's a blue flyer because there's not that many types of kangaroos. Now, I love this part because my high school mascot was the kangaroo, and I have to point it out every time kangaroos come up. It was part of the pact we made. Go Kangs, purple and white.
Purple kangaroos.
Yeah. Kangaroos are vicious.
Wait, a pact?
A pact. Yeah, we made a pact.
When you graduated? You have to... anytime kangaroo gets mentioned.
So that was my high school mascot.
High School.
Lake Washington High School.
Lake Washington High School.
Yeah, Juanita is the Ravens now. It used to be the Rebels. We went over this like 12 episodes ago.
All right. No need to rehash history.
Yeah, you looked it up while we were talking. I remember because anyway. So there's everybody's kangaroos now. Leslie took a cool, fun thing and made it like my high school.
Worse.
And yeah, that's what I said. So Leslie's like, all right, presentations are coming up. Tom, what step are you on in the Leslie Knope Project Preparedness Super System? And I was like, once you went to city council, we kind of stopped doing that. It's like 80 something steps. And she's like, this is something I developed over thousands of presentations over the past 10 years. It's my very soul. And Tom's like, I got my own system. Step 1, chill out a bit. Step 2, get up there and rip it. which is a great plan for Tom. And so,
or any 90s energy or any drink, like energy drink.
Yes.
Or any Dorito commercial from the 90s. Chill and rip.
I went to Taco Bell recently.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did not know that they have a diet Baja Blast Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. And it's like exclusive to Taco Bell. And I might have to make Taco Bell into my regular rotation. And that's that.
I think Taco Bell gets a bad rap for, I mean, I'm sure there's really terrible locations, but they really upped their ingredient game, I feel, recently due to the backlash of like, Taco Bell, just feeling bad after you eat it. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that joke still stands. I had Taco Bell half an hour ago and I regret it,
I had Taco Bell like 4 days ago and I'm still feeling fine.
Just wait.
What turned me on Taco Bell all those years, many years ago, was I went into the one in Totem Lake that was closest to my house, and I looked into the kitchen area. And kitchen is in heavy quotes. And they had like, when you go get your oil changed and they have like all of the hoses over, like hanging over the work area.
Right. For all the oils and lubricants
for all the
and
oils
whatnot.
and stuff. Yes, exactly. All the fluids. And I saw a guy pull something like that down from the ceiling and squirt out sour cream. And I was like, I don't know if I want to eat here anymore.
What an efficient sour cream delivery system.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. But since then, they have made it harder to see into the kitchen area at most Taco Bells. Mm-hmm. So it's better now.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
Give me that 99-cent burrito. I'm good now.
Oh man, I bought so much food for $10, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then I saw on Instagram, because it knows what I'm doing, somebody like I got all of these like Taco Bell hacks where you like get just a quesadilla and then put tacos in the quesadilla and close it back up and then eat it that way. I was like, I'm doing that. So anyway, that's my new super system.
Sweet.
So Leslie is not happy that Tom's not doing the project the way she thinks he should do it. And Ron's like, this is his project. Just let him do it. And she's like, but it's an 80-step system that led to, and I quote, the most thorough and dare we say at times over-prepared presentation that we've ever seen. And that's from the Indiana Blue Ribbon panel on irrigation and drainage. So
high praise.
Important stuff. And Tom's like, fine, I'll go back to your system. You're the big dog around here. Big kangaroo. And thank you. So Leslie is trying to get back in charge of things. But then she comes to Tom's desk and sees that he hasn't really done anything from the binder. And how does she know that, Jeremy? How does she know that Tom has not been working the system?
Because she placed a single strand of hair along the edge, and that secret strand is unbroken.
Yeah, and Ron is instantly curious. Whose hair is that? It's brown. And for Ron, this becomes a puzzle.
He smells it.
Ron loves puzzles. So, and scavenger hunts, all that. So this is good. This is now like the most important thing for him. So he's trying to figure out what this hair is. And Leslie continues to point out all of the ways that her system is superior. Hard data. Facts to make your case. You need 2 funny quotes and an inspirational one. classic. Ha ha. And Tom's like, you need to take a page out of my system and chill out. I got this. And Leslie is not happy. He's like, you're gonna fail. You're a ticking time bomb. And then Ron's still trying to figure it out. And he finally is like, this is an elk hair. And Leslie's like, yes, of course, it's the most effective hair for binder security. You know that, Ron.
Mm-hmm. He should have known from the beginning.
Yeah, he's a hunter. So Leslie is not going to sit idly by and watch Tom fail. So she decides to come up with her own plan. And she goes to see Stu. the owner of Stu's Stews, and she's like, I know you're trying to retire, but let me ask you to reconsider. Let's keep that Lafayette Park stand pumping out the stew like you do. And he's like, I really am looking forward to getting on some new hobbies. Thinking about getting into bisques, Stu. You've been a staple of the park too long. Screw bisque. And he's like, that makes a lot of sense. Screw bisque. That makes a lot of sense. That's all Stu needed. And so he's like, all right, let's do it. I'm back in. And so he's like, all right, we're going to convince the council to keep you around. I can do that. Don't worry about it. And then Stu calls out, let's get some stew flutes, please, to celebrate. And come in with some delicious champagne glasses full of stew. Just, it's on hand at this place. I don't understand so many things about that.
When it's
all those
huge, and
decisions.
it's a huge office too. Like if you look in the background, like this is a large office complex.
Just making stew. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
And he hadn't even gotten into bisques yet. I mean, that's the crazy thing. Screw bisques.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just.
I don't even know if I could really say what a bisque is. Is it just like a creamy soup?
Oh, it is a creamy soup. Yeah, a bisque is a soup, but it's just how the cream is introduced into it. Versus like say a chowder. A bisque is a creamier texture, whereas a chowder has the chunks still in it.
Oh.
All soups all fall under the umbrella of soup.
Where would you put chili?
That's an outlier. That's more you're going towards the stew into chili, right? So
is stew a soup?
That's a great question. That's good. On
the
it's more it's on a spectrum, you know, like yeah, it's like how solid is this? So if you were just to say it's you know, is it the base? Is it like the broth, you know, portion, the watery portion of it, or is the cream versus, you know, because chili has liquid in it. It all has to, you know, it's not just like beans and meat. That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it really has to be more like a grid graph with different quadrants.
Sure, but what are you going with? Soup, stew, chili, like.
Well, you've got your temperature.
They're all soups. Oh, like gazpacho then is way over down in its own corner of soup.
Yeah. So you got temperature, consistency, color,
cream base,
desirability. Because gazpacho's way down there at the end, and then on the other side is desirability, which would be like delicious chili. So anyway, all right. Well, this is a project for me for the rest of the afternoon. So let's hurry up and get this done.
Okay.
Just kidding. We're gonna take forever.
Speaking of projects, you remember the whole Philip the Leader of Snot thing with sneezes?
Yes. Did you do it?
I didn't do it. I forgot.
Oh, okay. I also forgot that we're going to try to do that. So
I was kind of hoping there'd be an email and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's what I got too. Thanks guys.
What she said. No, there is no email about it. So,
all right.
Yeah. We'll just have to
do my own work.
Stifle our disappointment, I guess.
All right.
But
Stew flutes.
Listener, if you want to send us an email, parksandconversation@gmail.com. And tell your friends. So Leslie comes to the meeting and she's like, I saved your bacon. Things are going to go great. I decided to bring Stu out of retirement. So pressure's off. And Tom is frustrated because like I put so much time into all of this. And Leslie's like, what, putting mousse in your hair? And he's like, it's a gel-based serum. And second of all, who uses mousse still? Are you still using mousse, Leslie? Friend to friend. Are you still using mousse? And I was like, no, it's a juicy space thing. Whatever you do. And Tom's like, Stu's sales are flat. Lemonade's the future. I'm going on my presentation. And Leslie's like, I'm still going to do my stew presentation and we'll see which one of the community likes. So now it's head to head. And Ron is not on board with this. And he's like, Leslie, look, I'm the last person to want to deprive the world of more stew, but are you sure you want to do this? And Leslie's like, I love Tom, but he's not ready to step up. And Ron's like, listen, he started his own business. He sold it for a profit. He has grown a long way. He's been working for you for 6 years. He's learned a lot from you. You got to let him do his job. And so that kind of changes Leslie's perspective, because Ron is a voice of wisdom. And so they go ahead, they meet with the business council, and they're talking about the Lafayette Park. And Leslie is going to present first. And so she says, they ask, why do you think we should renew Hot Stew's lease? I love that his name, just Hot Stew. Well, it's because of Stu, man who was ready to retire, spend more time with his family, travel. Then he realized, no, I want to spend my time in a small metal box all summer, bent over a boiling cauldron of steaming, bubbling meat. Making stew is hard. Up at the crack of dawn, backbreaking labor, your clothes smelling like salt and gristle. Sure, maybe the profits are minimal, but Stu doesn't care about that. Maybe a year extension is enough. Maybe he should make it 5 years. Heck, why don't we give him a lifetime deal? I like to see Stu ladling out his pungent beef smoothies until we bury him under that shed. And then Stu gets up and is like, I think I made a mistake. So the commission's like, wow, that was bleak. So Stu is removing himself from consideration. And then Tom gets up and he's like, all right. Leslie looks at him and is like, hey, rip it. So Tom's ready to go. He's like, there's nothing more American than lemonade. Just saying the word makes you want to drink some. Check under your seats. And everybody's got a classic a lemonade with their name on it. And he knows, like, Carter wants classic and Darvo pink lemonade. And then he says, who likes laser shows? Which is a problem because his last laser show blinded Jerry and he couldn't see purple anymore.
That was Jerry's fault.
He did look right into the laser. But Tom, this time the laser show with actual information that shows like the percentage of foot traffic in Lafayette Park is increasing, and Indiana Brothers is growing fast, and he thinks it could increase government revenue 30% over the next 5 years. Now, how much lemonade are they going to sell to increase government revenue by 30%?
It's Pawnee, man. I mean, they had Sweetums was almost, they were going to put their Gatorade, brand in the water fountains. So, I mean, it's Pawnee.
Yeah, I guess anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
But yeah, so
and it could be just like this one place, but then they could extend it to some of the other parks.
Yeah, I guess. But 30%, that's insane for revenue. It's
a lot of lemonade.
It's a lot of lemonade for a city budget to increase revenue by 30% from this one change. If that was possible, like every county, every city would be clamoring for lemonade stands. Anyway,
that's why it hasn't been done yet.
Maybe it's just because I've never made any money off a lemonade stand. We tried to do lemonade stand one time as children in my parents' front yard, and nothing. Of course, it was a Thursday, middle of the day, because people were working.
Just because it was February doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, somebody else already booked out the weekend at my parents' yard, so.
Oh, you couldn't even get your own a good time slot.
Like, you got to work for it like everybody else, kids. This is capitalism. So they're in Ron's office, and Tom says, "Hey, here's a little gift for believing in me. It's a gel-based hair serum. Enough with the mousse." That was hard to say. Enough with the mousse, for real. And he leaves. And then Leslie is like, "Ron, you were right. Tom has grown up." Yeah, so she's having a bit of a less than happy result in the way she's talking about it. And Ron's like, "You seem merely overjoyed instead of irritatingly ecstatic." And I was like, well, Tom's coming to his own. April runs out of control. I mean, does this department even need me anymore? And Ron just says, no, we don't. And that's hard to hear for Leslie. And Ron's like, April and Tom started out as two of the most apathetic people I'd ever met. That's why I hired them. you turn them into efficient and caring government employees. This office can indeed function without you. And I was like, is that a death threat? But Ron's like, look, you're on your way to bigger and better things. And whenever you do move on, you should know, and God help me, you've built a well-functioning government agency.
She's a victim of her own success.
Yeah. And Leslie's like, oh, that reminds me. I know you don't open your mail, but I do. You won Government Employee of the Month because of putting Tom in his new business position. And she hands him a plaque, and Ron instantly takes the plaque and runs home to his shop, cuts up the plaque, burns it, melts out down the metal, drives to Illinois, and buries it on the other side of the Illinois state line because he doesn't want anybody to know that he was ever a government employee of the month.
And I love, like, he buries it and then he takes the branch and like scuffs the ground just to make sure no one can track his steps.
Right.
That part cracked me up.
It's such a great great consistency here. Like, Ron is running in a government agency well, and a lot of it is because of what Leslie did, but he's still in charge. And anybody could just look that up. But it's the Government Employee of the Month. And I was like, no, this cannot be a known fact. So
no proof.
Yeah, and that is New Beginnings, season 6, episode 10. So overall,
the end of New Beginnings.
Overall, it's a fine episode.
Yeah.
The Ben line is great. It's so good. So, yeah. Did you find
Ben was probably my favorite part of this one.
Indeed.
Did I find anything? No, not really. No, you hit the one thing about the cop working with what's his face on the Good Place and all that.
Will McLaughlin.
Will McLaughlin.
Officer Killnose.
No, there wasn't really a whole lot left on this one. Next week is the farmer's market.
Oh, charred bodies.
So yeah, if between now and then, go visit a farmer's market, so it could be topical to you.
Yes, that if you find a functioning farmer's market at this time of year,
January,
that's exciting.
Let us know.
So, yeah, let us know so we can support them, not by giving money, but just saying, good job, guys. Kudos to you.
Hey, if we end like right now, I think even with the intro music and outro music, we'll be under 1 hour.
Let's do it.
Bye.
Bye.